Howdy, y'all. I just did one of my little Bible studies that y'all will see later, or maybe you'll see it before. I don't know. Depends on when I upload this video I'm making. See, I have a little dilemma. Not much I can do about it except pray, and y'all pray for me too. See, I wasn't a messy middle school child. I was quiet. I didn't get into drama. That just wasn't who I was. I was a quiet, meek little child. Too meek, in fact. I didn't become a little bit of a hellion until high school, midway. Nevertheless, I just don't know what to make of all this. I could write a soap opera, a teen soap opera. To the inappropriate teen soap operas that's on Netflix. I watched part of one time. Actually, for a few episodes before it got like, whoa. They put this stuff on TV and these teenagers are watching it and they think this is okay, I guess. You know, adult soap operas are one thing, but there's teenage ones. Yes, there are, and I could write one now. Little girls being messy, finding out little secrets about each other, and all for keeping the secret until they get mad at the other one, and then Lord have mercy, they tell you business. You know, or each other's business. Boys get mad at each other. They get in a fight. They're over it. Girls, girls are mean. And I was never a mean girl. I always felt bad for people. When I was in middle school, there was a pecan tree at my grandma's. It's since been cut down, but there's still several old ones there. Sometimes you can see them on my walks through there. I would climb up in this pecan tree. In fact, my grandma nailed a piece of wood up there so I could climb up it without hurting myself. I climbed up it. Y'all, I sat up there. I daydreamed. I read. Sometimes I walked into the woods, sat by the little old mud hole kind of pond that was surrounded by trees. It was so pretty and peaceful back there. And I would read books. Edgar Allan Poe. Yeah, I know that's a little weird, but it was well written, and it was kind of high level reading, and just other books, other classics. Just, I read a lot more than I do now. I have trouble focusing for very long, and my eyes bother me even with the cheaters. So anyhow, I digress. But that's what I was doing at this age. I wasn't even thinking about, much less talking about, the things that these other little girls in 2022 do. Now, were the other girls my age at the time? Oh, I'm sure there were a few. But, you know, not to this extent. Not that it's the norm. And it's everywhere. I mean, 2 Timothy something where it says, in the last days, people will be lovers of themselves, you know, just disobedient to parents, disrespectful, all this kind of stuff. You know, look for yourself. It's in 2 Timothy. We're going to cover that in a few months. But anyway, we are here, you know. And I was in Sunday school and I was talking to my friend who's the Sunday school teacher, and I was like, we are here. And you know what? I don't see how much worse can it get any worse, but I'm sure it can. And then I was like, well, you know, back in the 60s when everybody was being hippies, in the late 60s, early 70s, you know, I'm sure our grandparents thought, you know, our parents were all going to hell, and with all this nonsense that was going on in the 60s, and just if they were, now my mom wasn't a hippie or anything, but you know what I'm saying, you know, that those were the times that were really bad. But in all actuality, that was pretty tame unless you lived in the Hyde-Ashbury in San Francisco. Now we got all kinds of nonsense that's the norm, and I won't even get into it because nowadays you're full of hate if you're you know, now the Bible, I mean, nowadays sometimes is even considered hate speech by some people, which is ridiculous. It is about a love, but you know, not everybody understands that. I've had people get into arguments with me about the Bible because of the Old Testament and wiping out of the Canaanites, not having a clue why these Canaanites were wiped out, which had to do with tainted genetics, sacrificing their babies to idols, and well, guess what? The idol of self is where a lot of them get sacrificed now, but you know, that's wrong to talk about too. However, I have arrived at my destination, So I'll just leave y'all with that. Y'all pray for me. This is just so I learned to be patient, kind, loving, but firm. Stand firm and not let people with other belief systems that are involved just kind of mess with the whole thing. Because right now I got to keep firm. Thank you.